Welcome to WagerTalk TV. Kelly Stewart here with one of my favorite guys. That's right, bringing you that gold. And while he may not be on Bet On anymore, you guys can still catch him here on WagerTalk TV with me, hopefully often this football season. Also, you can catch him on the UFC Contender Series VR. Congratulations on all of your successes. Now give the people what they want. They want to hear about that NFL sprinkle. Who do you got for your regular season win totals this year in the NFL?
All right. Now, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to waste your time by going back, reviewing last year's stuff, and repeating it. Instead, real quickly, a couple of the things I look at and I credit for success. I look at regression to the mean. I'm a big mean reversionist, and I look at momentum. Objects in motion tend to continue in motion. It's just physics. And I try to apply that to the market. So when it comes to NFL win totals, I'm looking at teams that have an easy strength of schedule, such as the Giants, Eagles, Colts, Bears, Lions. They're the top 5 easiest. And I'm looking at teams like the Chiefs, the Rams, the Raiders, the Steelers, or Houston, knowing that they have the toughest strength of schedule. Factor in, and of course, that the odds makers know this as well, and they're going to try to shade against those biases. So how can we take advantage? And then finally, we're also going to look towards the fact that the NFL regressed a little last year. 2020, we saw that road team, that the home field advantage didn't even matter. I mean, road teams were 50% that year. It dropped a little last year. So is home field advantage mattering more? If it does, we have to factor that into the win totals a little more than last season, which proved otherwise. So there's a lot of components you want to factor before you confirm which win totals you want to get down on. Because again, you're putting that money locked up for 4, 5, 6 months. If you do not have a legitimate edge, no reason to make that trade. In the NFL, I have a lot less plays because the edges are fewer. So we try to narrow it down. And the bottom line is this. I always say that it's not about hitting it big once. It's about making small gains continuously. And that's what we try to do. So here's some NFL win totals that I've already bet. Hopefully there's still some value for you, whether you follow, fade, or ignore. First off, LA Rams over 10.5. Again, just a team that has that momentum the last few seasons. You don't need an explanation. New York Jets over 5.5. Talk about regression to the mean at its best. Houston Texans over 4.5, minus 125. We could lay that up to minus 150, meaning that's the break even. Again, you want to get better than that to have an edge. But I think 6 out of 10 times they get that at 5 win based on the models that I looked at, that I trust. Again, this isn't proprietary stuff. I tell you that all the time. Then New York Giants under 7, Jacksonville Jaguars over the 6. You're seeing a lot of this regression. Dallas Cowboys under 10, minus 110. And for Gianni Detroit, we even went over that 6.5 on the Detroit Lions and laid 150 for that privilege. So you got a couple of these NFL win totals. Once again, I like to keep it real. I work for multiple groups that win in different sports. The group that does the win totals has historically turned a profit. There's no reason for me to waste my time digging into these. Instead, the positions they bet the biggest, I piggyback, I share, and pass along. And again, it's served me well. So whether you follow or fade, hope you cash them, don't trash them.
Absolutely, VR. We appreciate you sharing that gold each and every week. Before I let you go, though, I did have a question, not only for your subscribers, but for those that are following along with us at home. How do you recommend somebody betting? What would you give, a 6 or 7 season win totals? Would you recommend just a flat 1 or 2 unit bet, or are these pretty significant where you think it's worth more?
The best question, I would, number one, narrow it down to ones that I agree on. If you do your own handicapping. If you don't do your own handicapping, then it's as simple as this. Which lines are still available? Those are the ones you bet. Those are the ones that still are giving you an edge. If the lines already move significantly, then there's no edge there, and you're hoping to be the product of good luck. And that's not what we're looking to do. That's why I give volume. I'm so glad you asked that question. Last year, I had a real big decision to make going into 2022, Kelly. I had said I stated I was going to lower my volume because I saw how big and mainstream sports betting was getting, and that so many recreational bettors were coming into the marketplace, and they were confused with that. But you know what? I decided no. I got to keep it real. I'm not going to change to sell to these people. I'm not going to confuse them. I'm going to continue to do it the way that's turned the profit for me and the guys that depend on me. And so far, it's proved to be the right move. Coming off a cold last 3 weeks, I'm still second in profit year to date. And again, this isn't to tout me. It's simply to say I don't strategy jump. My goal now is to finish number one at the end of this year and be able to say that 2 of the last 3 years, I finished number one in profit. And I did it by firing volume, something bettors say can't be done. We did it 5, 6, 7 straight years. So what I'm trying to get at is make sure the bets you're making have value. That's why I give volume, because I tell my guys, if the number's not there, pass. Don't bet it. You're taking the worst of it. And I can't help you if you're willing to do that. So this ain't an infomercial. Feel free to cut that, edit that whole thing out. But what I'm getting at is don't take bad numbers. That's the bottom line. You want to have some long-term success. There's always going to be another bet, always somewhere better to lay your money than on a bad number. So to answer that question as simply as I can, bet the ones where the number's still available, avoid the ones where the number's not, unless you like the other side, then go against me because now you got an even better number than before.
Good stuff from VR. Always appreciate his insights on and off the Bet On It circuit. That being said, make sure you guys check out him on the UFC Contender Series. Each and every week, he is there giving you guys free winners. Make sure you also follow him on Twitter @Greek_Gambler.